on Foxy. It's your birthday. Not for real, just for play. This is Cree Summer, and Moana Nui will be right back.
Good evening and welcome to our monthly edition of Moana Nui After Dark presents Whatcha Watchin. Hello, ladies. How are we all doing this evening?
Hello.
Well.
Tonight we will be discussing bittersweet moments, the third and final season of What If, and some other animated things that we have seen. So with that, before we begin, I will put this up. That goes for everybody on this panel too. So
yep, I fully expect to be spoiled.
If you haven't seen it or you haven't finished it, oops.
We should have done our homework.
We knew this was happening since Christmas. So, where do we want to start with What If Season 3? Because I like how each season seems to have had its own theme. The first season was establishing the expanded multiverse, in which, AI can pretty much pierce the veil into what it wasn't supposed to see. The second season was pretty much someone who helped us stop a major threat became the major threat. And overall, for the third season, Watu's friends is pretty much like, dude, we got to kick you out the club.
Yeah.
So,
their whole council was like, bro, you wild.
I mean, that's pretty much how we ended. And, nice little send-off for Captain Peggy Carter, though I'm kind of sad. I do want to see more of that character in live-action MCU films.
Didn't they kill her, though, already? And, one of her is dead.
Yes, one variant was killed in Multiverse of Madness.
I mean, granted, everybody was killed in that because, Wanda was, like, showing out.
Because Wanda needs a hug still. A drink, Jesus, something, I don't know.
Need little Dejean in her life.
But yeah, so season 3, 8 episodes, ending with Watu. Yeah, only eight episodes in the final season.
No.
And just to be contrary, not contrary, but disloyal, I guess, to Marvel. This is the final season, and I struggle to watch it. I mean, normally I'd be like, I can't believe they're gonna cancel something so good, but now I'm like, yeah, it ran its course. I'm fine with them ending it. I'm good with it because to your point, James, around the arcs of each season. Like season 1 was, guess what? There's multiverses or other places, and season 2 was, okay, now we kind of get in each other's business and things are getting a little wild. And then season 3 was, all right, let's shut this down. Like, you can't really go anywhere from that. And it kind of, in a way, mirrors where we are with AI. Like, how many movies do we have to show you to tell you that making the computer smart is a bad idea? And they're like, no, this time will be different. No, it won't. So
I mean, let's see, Blade Runner, Terminator, Day After Tomorrow. I mean, what's
Recall? Put that in there too. Why not? Back to the Future. It's always bad.
Yeah, I mean, step on the crack and ripple time effects. I don't know, somebody's back.
Even the butterfly effect.
Yep, I was getting ready to say that, the butterfly effect. Keep going back, trying to change. Every time you try to change it to fix it, mess up something else.
All right.
It was a good movie though, just to take us all the way off track. Because
I did like that.
At the end of that movie, spoiler, 35 years later, when you realize at the end of that movie that the reason she kept having what do you call it? Not abortions, what's the other word? Miscarriages was because he was killing himself over and over again.
Over and over again to not be born, yeah. All right, so back on track. What If, season 3.
Yes.
Let's start with any particular episode that stood out aside from the end. I know people want to get to the end with Storm carrying Mjolnir, which was awesome for the final 2 episodes.
I have some issues with that, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
My thing with all 3 seasons is that I like how each season there's a dotted line to each one.
Yeah.
Stop at season 1, and then there was a new season 2. Season 1 bled into season 2. Season 2 bled into season 3. So they're all connected. I like that. I damn sure appreciate it. Good job, Marvel. Good job.
And see, that's kind of what I don't like, because what I realize is that I'm a like, let's wrap everything up in one episode type person. Move on, new monster, new mystery, whatever. Wrap it up. Move on to the next. And so when they're all connected, that's a bigger opportunity for me to lose, the overarching like plot.
They overcomplicate it.
Yes. And so, that one little 60-minute or 30-minute or whatever episode, I can keep up with that. But, if we're trying to connect a whole season and then connect seasons, that's where I'll get confused.
But it's only a line. It's not, okay, and you take some of those characters and you place them in this one. So you had the chick from the, what do you call it? The one that was able to run and go through time.
The Native American chick?
Yeah, her.
Corey.
So she was in 2, and then she bled into 3. So that's what I'm saying. It's great for me. I need linkage. I don't need stoppage, which is why I was pissed with going off track Star Wars, the Skeleton Crew. But we not about that one. That ended like, what the fuck? What the hell happened?
Well, we did say we talk about whatever, the roundup of animation and everything. But to your point, if you think about it, the big arc of all of it is that this whole concept is about the Watcher, right? And him kind of peeking in and then getting a little too involved, and then like the first time he ever even tries to get involved, he's like, "Touch it, grab it, it's right there, get it," and he's still trying to not be. Then he's like, "All right, hey, you messing up, come here." Recruiting people, and it also shows you how, just like everything else, when you violate rules that have been set in place for a reason, you fucking up everything. And now, like they said, Peggy out there being a menace, and everybody's feeling themselves, and then like too much knowledge, not enough responsibility, you end up with what you got. So it's a lesson for him, and then we'll never know how that all goes, but it's all good.
A lesson for him and a lesson for the Watchers, because
yes, the other 3.
Spoilers, Joy, because at the end, to actually get them to understand that sometimes meddling is good within reason, they had to yank them into a universe in which they would have no powers.
So almost like a Jesus allegory.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm gonna send
and have them actually
all-powerful child out there and go live with them and see how bad it is.
Not so much live, but just truly watch and observe and enjoy, instead of just watching to pretty much
to catalog.
I shouldn't say watch. What they were doing more so is monitoring and cataloging, like you just said, right? So he's trying to get them to emote and feel by watching, like recognize the beauty and the sadness and the joy and the pain, like all the multiple nuances of existence that you ignore just by, okay, this is a thing that happened and this happened.
Understand true human feelings. You want to be a human, you want to embody us, understand the feelings that we have, so that you know what's going on.
That's what I meant. That's what Jesus did. God was like, you know what? Bah! Now we know how it feels. Go live with them. That's what I meant in a very callous and short sentence way. Is, go experience everything that they experience so you understand what they go through and why they do the things they do. It's not just to watch them. And then, because if that's the case, if you're never going to interfere, why are you watching? Who are you cataloging this for?
Mm-hmm.
That part.
Nosy ass.
And it was whose universe did they put them into?
The Strange universe from the end of season 2.
Yeah.
Because Strange, even though he doesn't exist, the universe itself is pretty much him. Like, it's the universe, his world that he destroyed, or his universe that he destroyed because he wanted to save Christine, and then ultimately just like, I messed up. I need to bring those people back.
She was the ultimate canon event. Christine gonna die, bro. I don't know what to tell you. She dies every time.
In his universe, yes. In that particular one, but yeah, there were some standout episodes that I found.
That was the question.
Okay, so the bird, Birdie.
I kind of like Birdie, but
Howard the Duck and Darcy. I'm gonna put that on right now. I hate that episode. As funny as it was, I hate Howard the Duck.
I mean, they took Fuck a Duck a little too far. You know what I'm saying?
You think?
I can't believe she said that. Oh my God, Joy.
I can't believe you weren't thinking it. Because that's what I thought I was watching the episode. Like, why are we doing this?
Why?
Really? Why?
Because is Birdie even canon? Like, is she a character that shows up anywhere in a comic book?
She probably will be now. So
no is the answer.
Not to my knowledge. I try to distance myself from all things Howard the Duck when it comes to Marvel.
I feel like Feige just wants another young Avenger. Maybe, he was feeling like he needed a hot girl knockoff and was like, Birdie. And how's she gonna get her? I don't know. Smart girl and a duck get wild one day at karaoke. What is this?
But yeah, that I didn't like that either.
You know what line I specifically hated in that episode more than anything else in the world?
Oh gosh.
She's my brother from another mother, sister from another mister. Loki, if you don't shut all the hell the way up, what? Who wrote that? You know who wrote that? Somebody who has a lot of minority friends and thought that it sounded cool to put all that in one sentence. Look how cool I am. Let me go tell LaShawn what I did. No.
that was definitely horrible. Definitely horrible. It's pretty much when your writer's room doesn't have enough diversity in it to actually let people in those spaces speak with reverence.
Now, I will say, because I'm hoping it was a white person.
There's that. There's that. That is true.
Because if it wasn't,
I don't want to assume.
I'm gonna throat punch you so hard. It better have been a white person.
Right.
That's what I know.
It's like watching the news when a crime is committed. Because this was a crime. It was a crime.
I will say the first episode of the season did kind of like give me anime braingasm, because it starts out in a 70s anime style of like Speed Racer and like Gotcha Man with the mechs and the Avengers having giant robots to fight the Hulk in that, and the style, and they nailed it perfectly. If you go back and look at any mid to late 70s Japanese animation, that's exactly what it looked like. Like, and with the they even got the mouth flaps off with the voice. I'm like, y'all went above and beyond just to drill this home for the intro to this episode, and then for it to actually be like something that truly happened, because the standard 6 Avengers are no longer amongst us. They died in that battle, and then carry on with the next wave of Avengers led by Sam Wilson. So the story itself is good, but just the opening of that episode really like that got me, because I'm like, someone truly loves animation, like going way back to throw that in there as the intro to season 3. Like that had to be like a love letter of some sort for someone who's watched at minimum 50 years of cartoons.
That was my favorite episode.
The
and
first one.
To me, it went all downhill from there.
Oh my God.
Oh no. The first episode from season 2 and 3 is like, what the fuck am I watching? It's like, okay, I know it's gonna get better because the first 2 in season 2, I'm like, okay, I can't get with this. And then it started to get better. In season 3, first episode wasn't for me. And then I'm like, okay, so I know it's going to get better, so let's just stick with it. And it did. To me, it did. Because the last 2 episodes were my favorite.
Well, the beginning of season 2 was what if Nebula joined the Nova Corps, in which Nova Prime turned out to be the bad guy. The second episode was what if Peter Quill attacked Earth's mightiest heroes. And that was when they assembled the Avengers early with T'Chaka and Ben Foster and Captain Marvel. Well, not Captain Marvel. What's her name? Glenn Close's character from the first Captain Marvel film. Like those are the Avengers.
Yeah.
And Peter Quill is still a kid in the 80s, realizing he has powers because he doesn't get kidnapped. So that was the start of season 2. I won't say it got better. I mean, there was that Happy Hogan Save Christmas episode in season 2. Comical as it was, could have done without.
Yeah, I didn't like that one either.
That's the
I
thing.
will say, on the flip side, in season 3, what if Red Guardian stopped Winter Soldier from killing the Starks? I like that episode. Again, nonsensical comedy. I know some people don't like that brand, but considering those 2 characters' personalities and how they set up that whole sequence of them meeting, because Red Guardian, if you remember the Black Widow film, was constantly boasting about
How
his
powerful
interactions with Captain America, and it's like, Captain America was frozen when you said you interacted with him. What are you talking about?
He's like, shut up, run. Yeah.
So that whole sequence is like, and a young Nick Fury just trailing him down like, yeah, I'm gonna let this slide because I can use you guys later.
That was probably my second favorite.
Yeah, I like the interaction between them because you saw Bucky still had a heart.
Yes.
He still had feelings because he started to care about the Red Soldier. So I like that one too.
I also like the kind of social commentary on, you think you're doing something for like a government you believe in just to discover your government ain't.
Oh, yeah.
Right. When he realized his government was basically just leaving him out there to die.
Mm-hmm.
And Winter Soldier was basically, his new orders were to kill him. He was like, what the hell is...
Right. Kill my homeboy?
I'm going to just stay here in Midwest America and be a high school gym teacher. Not Nick Fury. It was Ben Foster. That's who it was. Who was the SHIELD agent. Yeah.
But I liked the movie Black Widow, and I think the Red Soldier in that movie, the Red Guardian, was one of my favorite characters in that movie. Because if you stop thinking of it as a Marvel action film and think of it as like a family-oriented action film, you like it better. That's what it is. It's all about family. Like Fast and Furious.
Really? I knew you was going to go there.
You knew I would.
What you said is all about family.
It's right there.
It shouldn't be right there.
Okay, so I will admit that I didn't get to. We're talking about that, like that for that animation montage, if you will, that they went through in that first episode, threw me off, and I didn't watch. Like I didn't finish it. I was like, I couldn't get into it, and I didn't know what it was about it that made me not immediately attached to it. And now I do. It's like this. It didn't feel right to me at the beginning. And so I was thrown out of it early on. And then when the other episodes dropped, I was like, yeah, I'll get to it. Like when I tried to watch it all today. I watched none of it today. But I got him through like episode 3 out of 8. I think I had 3 and 4 on in the background. I was trying to watch 5. I got busy, had to do some work. People interrupted me all afternoon. And then I just jumped to, I Googled, when does Storm show up? And then, 7. Okay, let's watch 7.
7 and 8.
Then I was like, wait a minute, this can't be, because she just shows up with the hammer. Like, why? Why she got a hammer? The hell is Thor? She still, like, what's going on? And if she stole it, how can she hold it? Like, I had questions.
She didn't steal it. She was worthy, or is worthy.
She is worthy. I love that they got the original, in my mind, original voice actress from X-Men 97.
They did.
And she's, to me, she did a better job of sounding like Storm the Queen than she did in X-Men 97.
Okay.
She was kind of like Storm the Rebel, which, is valid.
True. You mentioned episode 5. And I'm glad they actually did this episode because it's been teased from the end of Eternals and kind of acknowledged in She-Hulk. But we got a what if the Celestial had, the emergence of the Celestial had destroyed the planet.
Right. Or as I prefer to say, what if the Celestial busted wide open? All night. This is me all night. Good luck to y'all. How I feel today.
And you're sober. That's the sad part.
I'm stone cold sober. It's part of my problem.
Oh my God.
If I was not sober, I'd be quieter.
So yeah, the emergence pretty much destroyed and literally had Earth looking like, what was it, season 5 or 6? I can't remember which season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. it was, but if anybody remembers, there was a season where they got sent 40 years into the future.
Yeah, and the Earth
was the world, yes.
Earth was pretty much just shattered.
Yeah.
And that's what Earth looked like in this episode. And this one centered on Riri Williams trying to stop Mysterio, who had gained control of Stark's tech from Peter Parker because irresponsible teenage boy. And and things just went sideways from there.
Mm-hmm. I liked that episode. And that's the first time, now that they're watching the Watcher, that was the first time that they caught him in the act of interfering, so to speak. He didn't even do much. He was just like, hey girl, get up. Like, it wasn't a lot, and
he wasn't supposed to do anything. It kind of was a lot.
I mean, but we don't know how time moves in the Watcher's dimension, but he been interfering for a minute. And by a minute, I mean a long ass time.
Yeah.
Because he gathered all of them together to fight.
I mean, every season he's gathering people together to fight.
So they've been watching him. But I guess that one was the last straw.
Yeah.
That was the last straw? Really?
Yeah, when he helped the black girl, now that's out of order.
Yeah, perfect timing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Since that order was revoked. Yeah. Can't help us no more. Okay.
So, Joy, as far as your question, as far as how Storm got Mjolnir, I'm gonna guess that somebody in the writer's room, behind the scenes, whatever, read the mid-90s Amalgam Comics crossover of DC versus Marvel, in which Storm fights Wonder Woman with Mjolnir. And I use the word fight very loosely because this wasn't even that much of a contest.
When you said she fights Wonder Woman, it's like Storm beat the brakes off Wonder Woman.
She did. She really did beat the brakes off Wonder Woman in that fight.
Well, it was a demigod versus a god. She had the advantage. Storm is a what do we call it? Omega level.
Omega level.
Yeah. Omega being the end.
Mm-hmm. With Mjolnir. So I'm pretty sure someone had read that series and got the idea to let's give Storm Mjolnir just cause.
I would have liked.
Wasn't there a comic book with her as Thunder?
In oh gosh, I wish Furious is here because he reads Thor comics. There is if I remember correctly, because he told me the story, in the run in Marvel Comics in which Jane Foster is Thor, there is a council of Thors. If you remember from like the end of, what was it, Quantum Mania, Council of Kings. So there's a council of Thors. And one of the Thors is Storm.
So yeah, I noticed she had him the wings and
She had a full Asgardian garb on.
Yeah, Asgardian Storm. So she's been out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's been out there in these Nibelheim streets.
Cosplaying her, so I know she exists. They didn't just decide to merge them. How she's got some type of comic book they need to find. But as her being a Omega level mutant and the ability not just to control the weather, she can manipulate any element, whether it's air. So if she's in space, she can breathe. If she's underwater, she can breathe. If she is stuck in the ground, Storm has the power to manipulate all of the elements to help her.
She's the Avatar.
She's an everything bender.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, she's above that. So why was she not as powerful enough to get into that universe? I didn't like that. I
especially when, like, to your point, Infinity Ultron was just like bloop. I mean, he had the Infinity Stones. I guess that's how he got in.
Yeah. Also, the Watcher kept monologuing what Infinity Ultron was doing, and he just slowly became aware, like he's narrating like what's happening, like, oh, he's standing there pondering the moment, enjoying it, and yet he hears something, looking around for a voice. Wait, is he looking at me? And the next thing you see is his hand punch through reality and grab him by the throat, like, oh shit, I think I messed up. Like, you could have stopped talking, like, after he won, like, okay, let's change the channel and go somewhere else.
You're supposed to be watching.
But no, you kept watching and allowed him to become aware of your existence.
Right? It's on you, bro.
So,
I do want to talk about Birdie.
Go ahead.
First of all,
I like her. She's my favorite. She was my favorite.
The character is fine. The episode that produces her, not so much.
Right. That's what I was going to say. I liked her, but I didn't like thinking about where she came from.
Right.
After she was born.
She's of the young Avengers, if you will, you know, since she's supposed to be, I guess, Riri's age or something, some such by now. She went from egg to adolescent real quick. But I like that she's kind of this retro 80s kid. You know, everything is metal, and even her voice. You know who she sounds like, James? And you look it up and let me know if it's true. She sounds like Amanda Holiday from Destiny. I think that might be the same lady.
No, I can see her face. I can see her face because she does commercials. I think she's a comedian. She was doing those commercials. Damn, I forgot the name of those commercials that she was doing. But she was talking to herself within the commercials. That's the voice.
Natasha
Lyonne, who is not Amanda Holiday. That is if you see her, you'll know her. She's the redhead who was in American Pie.
The one who's one time at band camp?
No, not her. The redhead who plays her friend. She's the one that bought. She's the one that helped Stifler, not Stifler. Oh gosh, what's that boy's name? The one who got with Stifler's mom. She's the one who spread the rumors about him because he paid her $200 to spread rumors about him. As far as her.
That's not her, because that's the voice.
That is her. That's the voice of Birdie. Yes.
Yes.
But no, she's not the voice of Amanda Holiday, though.
Now I gotta go find out.
I know.
Yes, I like Birdie. I like her powers. And then she's smart, like her mom.
Mm-hmm. Courtney Taylor is the voice of Amanda Holiday.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the hell her father has that how she got them powers.
That's what I was going to say. And then she came out with like blue. I feel like that ain't his baby.
So it's what was happening. So the egg was produced during a convergence. And that's why, if you remember the episode, they were running, trying to protect the egg, because literally everybody in the galaxy was like, well, we don't know from.
Okay, so not an immaculate conception, but.
Right. But pretty much it was like
the acolyte.
Shield is trying to get the egg because it's dangerous and we don't know what it can do. And then everybody else is like, we want it so we can manipulate its powers and abilities. So because of some type of prophecy that was foretold about a being, you know, so that's where her powers come from, not from them, just from the convergence.
And can we also talk about a human with human musculoskeletal density is never going to fly with just some feathers popping out the back of their arm? Like, that is not how flight works. Birds are usually mostly air pockets on the inside.
Now you're too sober.
Right.
It's cartoon.
Dial it back a bit.
Whatever they want to do.
It's funny. Like, my brain picks and chooses what it wants to like, release a reality, and what it wants to be like, no, that's not possible.
Yeah, it does whatever it wants. So
right, fifth dimension watcher, sure, but bird, no.
That draw the line at bird.
Yeah.
Bird human growing their own wings just to fly. Yeah, nah. Step too far. What did everyone think about Agatha going Hollywood?
Yo, I love that episode.
I didn't.
Teresa, you said you didn't?
No. See, I was trying. My goal, like Joy was saying, her goal was to finish, watch the whole thing today. My goal was to rewatch it because I had already watched all the episodes, but my mind is like in one ear and out the other. So I was trying to refresh, and I, got through episode 1 because I enjoyed it. And then the second episode started, and of course I was supposed to be working. I got a call, so I paused it. And then when I was off my call and I went back to start it, I realized I didn't want to restart it. So I just gave up. That one didn't really do it for me. But
I think on the strength of Agatha Harkness's live action like actress, I love the character. And so I gave it a lot of leeway. I also love the fact that they brought in the Eternal that did the big Bollywood numbers and stuff. I was like, this is cute. I thought it was cute. Yeah.
Right.
That was the character, the actress. She did.
Johnny, yes, Kingo. Yeah. That was Kingo. Yeah, same actor.
Mm-hmm.
I think Howard Stark was getting on my nerves. He was just talking too much.
He gets on your nerves. Like that's his MO. Yeah.
Dominic Cooper has always played Howard Stark as extremely over the top, eccentric, especially the younger version of Howard Stark that he portrays. So he's not played him as a even-keeled young man. Nah, this dude is smart, has money to throw away, and not a care in the flipping world. It's like, you want to go bigger? Cool, we can go bigger. Meanwhile, production is along the side, like, sir, we only have the budget to go this big. All right, well, double it.
Right. You said the kind of person in real life I would never. What you said? Never hang.
I wouldn't want to. It would just irk me. I wouldn't want to be in the same room.
You'd have to pay me to hang out. I would take his money.
Ideas.
Yeah, I would take the money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, always comes back to the money. Always.
Yeah, but I would probably have to drink in that world of the multiverse. I would definitely have to be a drinker
to deal with Howard. Yes.
So let me ask a question, since I didn't finish watching it. Since Howard didn't die, how does that affect his son in that universe? I would assume his son grew up spoiled and useless.
probably, but we never see
became
that.
an Avenger. Yeah.
Because again, like Howard has shown up, I think, in at least one episode in every single season, in some type of throwback one way or the other. They never push forward to how Tony turns out, because Howard was,
Thank you. I kept wanting to say Robert Downey Jr. I was like, that's not his name.
But I guess the assumption is that since they did it in the movies where you see him in, the first Captain America film to the first Ant-Man film, and then like 30 some odd years has passed, and he's older, reserved, quiet, and even in Captain America Civil War in the beginning, where Stark is talking about the glasses or whatever, and you're seeing the last memory he has of his parents before they died, and he's like very stern and proper and everything. Even in Iron Man 2, he's watching the video like, son, put that down, stop messing with that or whatever. Just completely, literally two different people. So I guess in What If, they're trying to keep in line with that. Like, his younger self is still going to be highly eccentric, wildly cavalier, and an older version of him is just going to be the complete opposite.
Yeah. He had a kid and stopped being for the streets.
Yeah, pretty much.
I saw a video the other day, and it was just a statement, but this woman was saying a hoe's final form is a church mother.
Oh.
She's not wrong.
Okay.
All right.
My work here is done. I'm be quiet.
No, it's not.
Look, so the last two episodes was to me the best. I want to see more, but I after hearing Joy was like, okay, that's enough. I'm glad. I agree. I'm glad season 3 ended.
It ended with it being like not a perfect, but a really solid arc of seasons. Like, it's a solid show that, like some shows be like, oh, they fell off. Like Walking Dead. I was all in on Walking Dead. And then like at some point I was like, oh, they done jumped the shark. They done fell off. They doing weird things.
At which point did they jump the shark? Because I can count 4 instances what they did.
Yeah. But like with this, I think that I would like to see more, but I know that I don't.
Well, in a way, we are going to get more because Marvel Zombies is coming.
Why?
Because it's a thing in the comics. The episode they did in season one was one of its most highly regarded episodes. And they decided to spin that whole universe into its own series.
I like that one.
It's happening. You can shake your head all you want. It's like almost, I think it's practically done. The release year is supposedly this year.
All right. I don't do zombie movies. I just
and I do. So I think that's why I liked it, even though I don't like adult animation, and I usually don't do, like, as much as I love a good superhero movie, I usually can't keep up with superhero animation. But I think because they brought the zombie factor into it, it made me more interested, and I really enjoyed that episode.
Okay.
I mean, the Wanda zombie I liked. I never jumped on that bandwagon with what's that stupid zombie movie that everybody's watching that Okoye's in it or whatever her name is.
Walking Dead.
Yeah. I'm not. All of the different variations. There's like 5 fucking different Walking Dead shows out there right now.
There's a new one out now. Yeah.
Okay, 6. I just can't deal. I can't.
Actually, 4 spin-off. Sorry, I forgot one. But yeah.
I can't. I mean, like, shit. World War Z was okay. I dealt with that. They
butchered the book, but yeah,
it was weird.
I was able to watch that. It was like, okay.
I mean, it was even weird for a zombie movie.
I found out earlier this week that a sequel to I Am Legend is coming.
What? I'm still
I knew that.
Well, so if you remember the movie,
it was a rhetorical question. I don't want to hear about this at all.
No. Will Smith's character is not supposed to die because he lives in the book.
Die.
Yes, but in the movie, they decided to go the route in which his character dies. So they're doing a sequel in which the movie ending is being retconned to the ending of the book where he actually lives, and then continuing from there going forward.
So they think he's dead, and then it turns out not to be dead.
Don't know the specifics. That's the only news that I have read. That's coming. You know, it's coming.
Okay.
They did it, and I'm like, well, if y'all knew y'all was going to do this, because this wasn't some what if we do a season, you know, a second movie. There's always a propensity to do a sequel for literally any and everything, regardless of how it ends. Why'd y'all even make the decision to kill the character when
Did
he
they
doesn't
kill
even
him
die
off
in
for
the
real,
book?
or did we just see the zombies coming for him?
Oh no, he's dead. Like the movie ends with him dying and explode. He kills himself.
He blows up the lab.
Yeah, with him in it to
Oh,
let
yeah.
the girl and the kid get away.
He dead.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna be a terrible movie.
all right. So positive note. The only episode we haven't talked about in the season 3 is the 1872, which is Shang-Chi and Kate Bishop trying to stop a ghost train.
I don't like westerns.
Oh, damn.
What? So you didn't watch,
I need
girl?
like a scorecard to keep track of everything Teresa don't like. Jeez.
So Teresa, you telling me? Damn it! What's the name of that movie? The one that
I know
honored.
with Regina
Harder
King in
They
it.
Fall or whatever
Yes.
it is.
Yes.
You didn't watch that?
Oh, that was good though.
Oh, you gotta watch that. Oh,
That's not a western. That's like an old west blaxploitation movie. It's
I was
great.
about to say I might eventually watch it because it's all black people,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
but otherwise I don't do that.
that's the shit. Regina King in that movie. Regina King alone in that movie. That's a badass bitch.
Yeah,
That
Regina King is my girl crush. I
Regina
adore her.
King is, and then they give honor to Chadwick
Boseman.
in that movie.
Mhm.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Regina's in Children of Blood and Bone.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, I was going to talk about that too. Oh, I saw the lady's post and I'm like, oh, this
That's
is not
nice.
real. This is just her dream cast. And then it was like, no, wait, this is real. Because I
Yeah.
saw other people talking about it.
That is
like-
the cast. Yeah.
That is when I talk about a blackly black, that is a black cast. I'm coming full. Whatever. How we came for Black Panther, I'm coming for that. I'm
Oh, yeah,
dressing.
absolutely.
I'm just like I'm there, and I got the book, but I never listened to it. So it's one of my books that I have. Like you have all your movies, James.
I've
all of
listened to
your-
that one like 4 times.
I haven't. It's in my to listens. I'm gonna listen to it now. As soon as I finish the book that I'm listening to, that's my next one.
Okay.
And that's a good point too with the cosplaying, because I just saw this African dress I want. That gives me an excuse to buy it. Not that I
Yeah.
really needed an excuse.
I'm going all out for that one. I just, that got me excited. I was like, what? All of that?
Mm-hmm.
I was
All
like,
of that.
how can there all of them people in there? I'm like, what? I can't wait.
Me either.
Listening to that and then be able to see who's playing what. Oh, I'm writing the names down. And when I listened to it, I was like, okay, so this is what's on her character. This is her character, his character. Every black person that I love is in that movie.
Yeah.
Not one person that I don't like.
It definitely is a because
Like,
I
woo,
saw
it's in there.
I saw it on IG because it was shared in one of my groups, and I zoomed in and was like, oh wow, and like you said,
They're not playing. They
went black.
they not playing. They got an all-star cast.
Yeah, they do. Even people who
Surprised
are
they ain't got fucking Denzel. Maybe they didn't have the budget to add him, but I'm surprised they didn't add his ass in there.
I mean, they got Idris Elba.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And did I see Sterling K. Brown in there too, or did I miss that?
I think you
Not
made
in
that
the
up.
first.
Okay.
Cynthia
not in the
Erivo was
one-
in it,
Okay.
Yeah, Cynthia's in there.
and Viola Davis. I mean, it's a lot of people.
Yeah,
Viola.
Viola
I'm like-
Viola Davis. Yes.
Viola and Regina King. I've never seen them act together. I can't wait to see them act together. This is going to, if they don't get an Academy Award nomination, I'm going to be mad.
You know what I'm about to say, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. First off, it's a fantasy movie, and then it's all black.
Mm-hmm. And you know the Academy is still 75% white and male.
Mm-hmm.
So you know a lot of them going to be like, I didn't think this was a movie for me, so I didn't go see it.
Right. And they like shit like Mulholland Drive.
La La Land.
Again, the Academy cannot be trusted because they are not a reflection of what the populace actually likes and wants to watch. Now, you want to talk about
the Life and Times of Carrie Underwood is going to win Best Picture or some shit like.
Look, if the Oscars were strictly for artsy films and that's all that was allowed to make the cut for awards, then fine. When you are encompassing these are the awards for literally every movie that came out over the last 12 months and you refuse to watch every movie that came out in the last 12 months, that's a problem. You don't need to be able to vote.
And that's the thing is like they can decide. Not I remember I will always be mad at the fact that Straight Outta Compton was a really good movie. And there were aspects of it that should have been Oscar nominated, and people refused to watch it to consider it for nomination because, oh, it's too loud. Like I remember some old white man on that committee was like, oh, it's too loud. I didn't even watch it. And so it couldn't even become eligible to be be because they wouldn't put it on the slate.
It's too loud? What the fuck does that mean?
I know what he did watch, though. I guarantee you he watched that bullshit Elvis movie.
No, which wasn't.
And they all watched The Shape of Water. I'm still mad about that shit because what the.
Right.
That was artsy fartsy Splash. It had the exact same plot.
Premise, yes.
So why didn't Splash get an Oscar nomination? It went first.
I guarantee they're going to watch that Bob Dylan pick.
I think they just like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's a certain subset of people who just like things where they are engaging in questionable acts with animals. Which brings us back around to Howard the Duck.
I really didn't want to get brought back around to Howard the Duck, but thank you.
So we should segue though, like what because we talking about we are so off. We are so off. We need some direction. We should be. Hey, I didn't do it. Don't look at me like that. I'm just one person.
One person? You mean the ringleader, the agent of chaos?
I mean, I am kind of an agent of chaos. I do.
Agent, you run chaos. Mm-hmm. You are CEO, VP in charge of marketing.
I would like to know what other things people are watching. Like my subtitle says solo reveling because I like to party by myself in my house. But it's a nod to the anime Solo Leveling, which is one of the things that I watch since we're talking about things that come out. Season 2 is now out. I am not a purist. And James is giving me the face for that because don't mess up my story. I said you give me the face, you give me the face. James is a purist, and so he likes to watch things in the original Japanese or whatever language. I was like, ain't nobody got time for that. It's not like the mouth is gonna match anyway, so I might as well watch it in English. And it's got really good English voice acting, similar to another show I was gonna talk about later, Don Da Don. Has anybody else seen either one of those? Besides,
no. Don Da Don is on my to watch list.
Don Da Don is on somebody's list.
Popular. Okay, James. All right. Okay, we don't go there. It's on the list to watch. But I didn't jump on the bandwagon and watch it. Come on now, give me some credit. It was like it's too popular. I'm not watching it.
Can I say who?
Since we all know that I can talk forever, I'm gonna be quiet. Like I said, I was gonna do 10 minutes ago. I'm gonna do it again. What Simone and Teresa, what are y'all watching? Like on the lighthearted side? Like you mentioned that you like children's focused animated stuff. What are you? And you mentioned Devil Dinosaur. I mean, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Anything else?
don't know. I don't want to be judged. I mean,
We listen
I don't really
and we
care.
don't judge.
judge.
I was just about to say that.
Oh no, we judging.
Okay.
No, we judging.
You can judge.
She's judging.
I'm judging.
She's judging.
I'm judging. I listen and I judge. Yeah.
And plus, you know, when I talk about them, you're probably not going to know what I'm talking about anyway.
All right.
You don't
Yeah,
watch
no,
it.
that's fine. It's okay.
Like I said, Disney Channel. I park my TV there all day. Big City Greens,
Heard of it.
Hamster and Gretel, Moon Girl. And then in the evening, I flip over to Cartoon Network to watch Old School King of the Hill and Bob's Burgers.
Good
That's
choice.
about the only adult, you know, kind of animation that I can stand. And it's back over to the Disney Channel, and of course, like they're bringing Phineas and Ferb back, so they're showing older Phineas and Ferb episodes. Yes, they are making Phineas and Ferb.
I love Phineas and Ferb with my whole heart.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And they're not rebooting the series. They're continuing on from where it was. Do you know?
I'm not sure. I just know that they're doing new episodes.
Okay.
You know who I like, Teresa, and I know this is so stupid, but and I'll stop what I'm doing. Ed, and Eddie. Hey,
I certainly can't judge.
Ed and Eddie was the jam when I was in college.
I love them. That got me. That got me.
For me, it used to be Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I liked Courage.
My main window was Dexter's Lab.
I loved Dexter's Lab.
There used to be a Toonami block, and it was Dexter's Lab and the Powerpuff Girls, and I would watch that whole hour every day. Classic animation.
And you know, sometimes I try with the stuff that's on streaming. Like I watched the first season of Castlevania when it came out.
I thought it was good.
It just wasn't my thing.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and put this out there. So I did binge all of season 2 of Castlevania Nocturne on Monday, and I am mad at myself for not binging it earlier because good God.
I told you Castlevania was good.
Oh, I knew Castlevania was good. It's just that I had other stuff to watch before I got to binging that. And season 2 of Nocturne was exactly what I needed from that show. I saw somebody in one of my feeds, either on Threads or IG, as I was just thumbing through stuff, and the young lady said, "This is how you know that the black woman was the main character, because ain't no way she's gonna be born 3 times with the same hairstyle."
It's true.
Every time she came back, when she got turned from human to a vampire, her hairstyle changed. And when she changed from a vampire to a night creature, her hairstyle changed again. But
you gotta have the appropriate locks,
right? But that show, because it's set like what 300 years after the events of the first Castlevania series. Don't know if they're going to do a follow-up to Nocturne, because Nocturne is done. Like that's it for that story. But it's the Belmont bloodline, and they could bounce literally anywhere in history and deal with a Belmont.
They could follow any one of the video games. There's a different Belmont for each iteration of that. So it's picking up. Let's ride. Yeah.
So this one takes place during what, the French Revolution, is it?
Yeah, and I like how they tried to bring in colonized people.
Yes.
Colonized, enslaved, freed people. Like they were from Haiti, weren't they?
Yes.
They spoke French. Yeah.
San Domingo.
Yeah.
San Domingo, yes. So
trying to go over and stop the evil European vampires. The allegory there just writes itself. Right. Sucking the life out of everything they touch.
But yeah, that one was on my list because 3 days prior to binge watching season 2 of Nocturne, I binged all of season 2 of Arcane.
See, I can't get into that. I'm trying.
And that's cool. I will say this. People get therapy. Something's weighing on your mind. You can't really fully express yourself. You're angry at the world. Talk to someone, a professional,
and use your words. Don't just throw bombs.
Don't just start taking your talents and blowing shit up everywhere because it's fun and the colors are pretty.
But I like the colors.
Look here, you little Sith Lord.
It's fun. Hey, I'm half Cuban. We have fun.
Mm-hmm.
We like colors.
Mm-hmm.
Especially red. I can't remember any of the shows. What did I tell you that I was watching? Blink.
Blink Link is on my list. Yes.
Blink. I like that. That was in a collab group that you helped me with.
Mm-hmm.
Because I chose Sailor Moon. So somebody in that group was like, "Oh, you need to watch this show." I was like, "Okay, I'll watch it." And it was everything that they said. I fucking enjoy that show immensely. They just go back in time. And you can't change anything. One has the power of looking at a picture and sends the other one back in time, and it sends it in that person's body. And they try and figure out what happened back then. And at one point, he sent him back in time to where his parents were killed. And he's like, "Why are you sending me back here? Why are you saying that? I can say this, I can say this. This is why you're telling me that I can tell them this, because they're not going to remember. They're going to die. It's like, we got to save them." He's like, "You can't save anybody. They all have to die. That's their fate. They're already dead. If you save one person," because he went and told them, he told them all, "There's going to be an earthquake. You got to get out of here at 7:30. There's going to be an earthquake." And nobody believed him until it actually happened. But he goes back in time to try and help people. I like the show. It's really good. You're gonna like it, James. You're gonna like it.
Sure.
Down to Dawn, I haven't watched yet. That's on the to watch list.
Without spoiling it, I'm gonna tell you, Dawn to Dawn is probably one of my favorite animes.
Oh, tell me. I need to know. I'm into spoils.
My
name is River Song. Spoils. Tell me.
Yo, we did put the spoiler tag at the beginning. I did say you all were going to get spoiled in shows that you have not watched yet. So spoil away.
First of all, did you ever first of all, the theme song, which I'm sure you've heard at this point. The theme song for Dawn to Dawn is catchy and it's an earwig. Like I find myself don't even know what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying, but it's fucking awesome. It's the same group, Creepy Nuts. It's the same group that did the theme song for Mashle, Muscles and Magic, which was bling bong bong bling bong bong bling bong bong bong, which went viral. They're back with another song. And it was actually the song for Dawn to Dawn's intro that I was like, okay, if Creepy Nuts is on it, I gotta see what this is about, because it's about to be stupid. And it is so wild. But the backstory on the writers, the directors, etc. The showrunner, I think, somebody who was in charge, when they realized they were going to adapt this manga into either when they wrote the manga or adapted the manga into the anime, was like, "I need you to understand romance, because y'all boys be getting it fucking wrong. This is not how people do." And so they studied like popular romance stuff, not to make it a love story, but to make the interactions between the male and female leads believable. Because, you're in high school and you kind of like a girl and you kind of don't, and maybe you know how to talk to her, but you're kind of awkward, and it works. And it doesn't feel like that forced thing that they tend to do in a lot of animes where, okay, take a girl and a guy and make them fight and put them on a planet, and then they just fall and accidentally kiss each other. It's all stupid. This one is really well done. And it's an interesting budding relationship. Like, you really don't know at this point if they're going to be a couple or if they're just going to be friends, and you're kind of okay either way, because the characters themselves are interesting. the granny, who is the hottest granny you ever seen, like granny built, she's stacked, she's the one that they live in her house. She's taking care of them. And the premise is the nerdy guy is into UFOs. The main character girl is kind of into, but also just aware of ghosts and spirits. And they dare each other. I dare you to go in this house. And they both find the UFOs and the ghosts and spirits. And that's how we begin the nonsense where the first episode, I was like, this is about to get real rapey and I'm real mad. And I was about to stop watching it, but they stopped it right when I was about to write a letter to somebody. I was like, what is happening here? Why her clothes come off? But it all makes sense. And just stick with it. The guy comes to rescue her, but he gets possessed by a little old grand lady. What is it called?
Granny.
This is all episode 1. I'm still in episode 1. He gets upset. He gets possessed by Turbo Granny, who because he had to go in this like haunted tunnel to find if ghosts are real, and of course the ghost of Turbo Granny is in there, and she's like, "I'll let you suck on my titties, you let me gobble your dong." And he's like, "What?" And the next thing you know, he is possessed mind, body, and soul by this Turbo Granny. So his superpower is running fast. But then when they finally get Granny out of him, his dong is gone. She took it.
Dong is there. His jewels are gone.
No, everything was gone at first. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yes, you're right.
Everything was gone.
His
and then
genitals.
Yes.
genitals.
Mm-hmm. When they finally kicked her out, yeah, because he was like, "Okay, I'm glad that we got her out of my body," and then it was like, "I got to use the bathroom."
Yeah, no, dong.
Wait, hold on. It's gone. It's gone.
And so then you got to use the bathroom. How are you going to use the bathroom?
Well, I don't know. I guess he sweated it out. I don't know. But,
you asked
so they go back and get it. But then they go back and get it, and then you start to learn how the main character girl, who has like psychic powers, kind of learns to use her powers, and how he learns to be more of a man to like step up and like try to help and save and not just cower in the corner and everything. And it's all interesting. So they get his dong back, and at one point, Granny was like, "Did you get your dong back?" He's like, "Yeah." She goes, "Let me see." He's like, "No, I'm not letting you see." He's being all awkward, and she's like, "Okay, fine, whatever." And then later on, he realizes, but my balls are not back. Where are my balls? So he has a dick, but now we got to go find my balls. And then because his balls are now imbued with like spicy ghost energy, they're golden, like a little golden Benoit ball, basically. And one hits this girl in the head, and now she thinks that she has been chosen by God to be the savior of everyone, because this golden ball allows her to see spirits. And they're like, "Give me my ball back." I mean, this is how it's wild.
Because she got hit in the head by magic nads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. She has a magic ball.
Yep.
Okay.
And she thinks that it makes her special, but she's special for other reasons. But the whole thing is wild. And I haven't even gotten, that's like episode 2. Like, it's so much going on in there. You kind of have to, it is kind of linear, but also you could like watch any given episode. And as long as you know who the characters are, you can watch them out of order. But it does build. And I will also say for Don, the artistry is amazing. There are some scenes, and it puts you in your feelings. Like, it's not just crazy action. It's not just any one thing. There's some crazy action. There's some really good fight scenes. There's some strategy. Like, when you realize that somebody that thought they looked like they were losing the fight ultimately wins because they've been doing these little things all day. All of that is in there. So it's smart. It's well written. It's funny. The characters are believable. And even the villains, or the demons, the ghosts, the aliens, whatever, even they have a reason. Say what?
The aliens are not redeemable.
The aliens are not redeemable, but like the people that work for the aliens are.
Yeah.
The ghosts have a reason for doing what they do. You discover why Turbo Granny is out here telling people, "I'll let you suck on my titty if you let me gobble your dong," because she, ultimately turns out she was already a ghost, but she recognized that a lot of girls were being lured to places and attacked. And so she started doing that to attack the attackers. So she would attack men that ended up in that tunnel trying to save young girls from being, abused or whatever. So Granny even though she stole his dick, there's a reason. There's a reason she was doing everything she did, right? And every ghost so far has had a reason that at some point I was like, doing a little hot silent tear like Denzel Washington in Glory, like, oh, because it's some really good stories in there. And I don't watch a lot of things again. I would absolutely watch it again if somebody wanted to watch it with me. I would absolutely watch it again. And so that's high praise for me because I don't watch nothing twice. Thus ends the monologue.
You ain't watched Black Panther more than once? 1 and 2?
No. I own them. I bought the movies on Blu-ray. They in the plastic. I watched pieces of Black Panther, but I never watched the whole thing top to bottom again. I saw it. And the only Marvel movie that I watched more than once was The Avengers, because I like to see Hulk slamming Loki to the ground. And at the time that came out, it was a whole lot longer before it came to video. So I watched it in the movie theater like 3 times.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna try to keep this brief. 5 anime that I am currently watching or have just finished. Joy's already mentioned 2, Solo Leveling and Dandadan. The third one, Shangri-La Frontier. It is nothing like what's your boy Kirito, Sword Art Online.
Yeah,
it's nothing like that. So kind of the same premise, but no one's stuck in the game. It's not life or death, and it is completely comical. Basically the main character, what is his name? So many characters' names in my head right now. Sunraku. Sunraku is the main character. He normally plays a whole bunch of trash and garbage video games that have glitches and bugs in them. And he does this because it's a challenge. He likes to figure out what the bugs are, what the glitches are, and play around them or work them to his advantage. So he's mastered the art of the trash video game. Mm-hmm. And one day he goes into his local gaming store and the person running is like, hey, why don't you take a break from all those trash video games that you're so happy to beat up on and try this Shangri-La Frontier. It's this new immense world building, VR game. You'll like it. You'll have fun. He plays it. He does not play it the way he's supposed to. That's the first thing. The second thing is there's an order to how you're supposed to level up in this game. You go to the first town, which is literally called like First Town or Firstica. The second city is called Second Dun or whatever. And he spawns in between those 2 towns, thinking he's near the first town so he can learn the tutorial of the game. He ends up in the second town, misses everything he's supposed to know, and because of his knowledge of glitches and bugs in other games, starts manipulating this game to his advantage and leveling up and becoming stronger. And, meets friends, whatever, has crazy adventures, and everything just spews out of control from there. 2 more that I'm watching. One is called Call of the Night. This one is kind of getting to me. 14-year-old boy who pretty much has more or less checked out in life as far as like
girl,
school.
what are you doing?
Are you pulling out a lightsaber?
Yes, I got my
Does your husband know you have this lightsaber?
What up?
Where he at? Where he at? So Call of the Night is about a 14-year-old boy who basically walks around his town at night. The Sailor Moon wand. Okay. Nice. Because he doesn't want to be awake during the day. So he walks around town at night because no one is out. Like we're talking like 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, and he walks around till dawn. And he runs into a vampire. And doesn't realize she's a vampire because she hits on him, was like, hey, you want to come cuddle with me?
Cuddle.
He's like, yeah. And he pretends to sleep, not realizing she's waiting for him to go to sleep so she can suck his blood out of his neck. And they build a relationship because now he's like, oh, you're a vampire. I want you to make me a vampire. She's like, yeah, that's not easy because for you to become a vampire, you kind of have to fall in love with me. And we just met. But yours is the best blood I've ever had in my life. So
all the girls say that.
Maybe we can make this work. So that's the relationship. And I'm almost done with the first season because it's only one season. It's 12 episodes, and I think I'm like 10 episodes in right now. So I got 2 more left, and the season 2 is coming. So that's their relationship. And the last one I'm watching, what was the 5th one called? Drawing a blank on it because I'm looking at my list right now. I can't remember. I can't remember what the 5th one is. But yeah, those are just some of the anime I'm watching.
I just started, and I need to go back because I thought it looked like really it was going to get really interesting. I started it so I could have it in my continue watching queue, because at the time I was like I couldn't add it to my list. But it's called Secret Level. Have you heard about Secret Level?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I don't think all of you have watched it. I'm gonna shut up on Secret Level. Go ahead. Sorry.
So I haven't watched it, but the premise of Secret Level is you might like it, Teresa, because it is a bunch of vignettes, kind of like Love, Sex, and Robots.
Same people.
Yeah. So you don't have to watch one to recognize or identify with the others. They're all standalones. But it's like, what if there was a secret level in your favorite video games, and all of these people were like real, and the world was real and not just a video game? And then what happens and what goes on in those. And so it started, I think the first one starts off, I want to say it was Wolfenstein, maybe, I don't know, but they're all very popular, almost like
Dungeons and Dragons, I think was episode 1.
Dungeons and Dragons, yeah. Very popular, like everybody, even if you don't play video games, these games. And then there's a secret level where like the day, not slice of life, but something going on because the game world is real. And it seems pretty good so far. James, y'all take it you watched the whole thing?
Oh my gosh, yes.
So is this a Crunchyroll thing?
No, this is on Amazon Prime.
Oh, Amazon Prime.
Yes, it's on Amazon Prime. It is, what is it? Total of 15 short episodes, like Joy said. The shocker for me, and I'm not going to tell you which episode, Arnold Schwarzenegger is the voice of one of the characters in one of the episodes. You'll know when you watch it, because he plays it as non-serious as possible.
Because he's had an accent for 50 years.
Oh, and he leans into it. So, in like most of his movies, he tries to like sound American straight, like with no accent. Yeah, he leans into his accent overly so.
So he's all the get to the top.
Yes. So like when we're playing Destiny. So we're playing with our clan on Destiny. It's like, go get to the chopper. Yeah, he's doing that with his voice.
I just doing that.
Yeah. What are I'm trying to remember the games in here. So Dungeons and Dragons, Sifu, New World, Aeternium, Unreal Tournament, Warhammer 40,000, Pac-Man, Crossfire, Armored Core, The Outer Worlds, Mega Man, Exodus, Spelunky, Honor of Kings are the video games in which episodes take place.
So I take back what I said, because half of those I'm like, what? I have not heard of all those video games, and I play games. But Warhammer, Pac-Man, again, if you wanted to just go and look at those episodes, still worthwhile to check it out, I think. Or I'm going to. So
you should. You very well should. That I'm not going to spoil because most of you have not seen it. Like when I heard that it dropped, because it was something I was looking for when it was first advertised, and then it dropped kind of quietly. But yeah, and the reason being is because when I found out the day it dropped, there was a Thursday night football game on. So in one ear and out the other, because I was watching a Thursday night football game until I remember, oh wait, didn't they advertise this thing? Yeah, let me go watch this. So naturally I got no sleep that night.
Wow. Okay.
So I actually just put it on my watch list. So we'll see.
The only thing I'm going to say is I would like each of you to message me directly when you watch Pac-Man.
Okay. But it won't be on Facebook because I logged out of Facebook because everybody told me to, and now I can't get back in.
That's the password. You've been logged into Facebook so long, you just used to tapping the app on your phone. You don't even remember what your password is.
Actually, I remember my password, but it's like at some point I set up 2-factor authentication, and it was like, okay, we'll send a code to your phone. And then every time I select that, it's like, sorry, we can't send a code to your phone right now. Would you like to try another option? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get another option. Okay, send us a picture of your driver's license. I think the F not.
F not, no.
And I'm like, you know what? This is a scam. They got ahead of us. They had us all, log out of Facebook to show Zuckerberg how you feel, blah, blah, blah. And then we did it. And they're like, yeah, give us more of your information to get back in here. I will never be back.
I can take a picture with a 2-finger salute and at Mark Zuckerberg on the photo.
They kind of messed up because I was able to use the same thing, like 2-factor authentication on Instagram. And I logged back into my Instagram, which is the same system, changed my password, all that stuff. And I'm back into Instagram
Sorry.
Oh, back into Instagram. And so I don't really need Facebook if I have Instagram. I'm sure people have messaged me. I don't know what they're asking me. I don't know what they want. They'll be all right.
Did you know you can watch Dawn to Dawn on Disney Plus?
Yes.
Is it on Disney Plus too? Because it's on Netflix
Dawn
too.
on Disney Plus, yes. And Netflix.
Everywhere.
Yes, Dawn to Dawn is on Crunchyroll, Disney Plus, and Netflix.
Mm-hmm. And the main character is voiced by up and coming Black voice actor. He's really good too.
As far as Netflix goes, what is it that I keep meaning to watch?
We didn't talk about Arcane. We said we were watching them. So Arcane I'd heard a lot about it. I had avoided it for a long time until I found out that one of my K-pop, some of the songs were done by my favorite K-pop bands. So I was like, well, I guess I'll watch it now. And it was a slow burn. Like early on, I'm like, we'll just kill somebody, something. And then they did. And then they killed a lot of people. And I was like, wow. And then I was like, brother, what is it? Like? I was like, they give you characters to root for, to feel betrayed by, to hate, to hope don't get redeemed. Like there's some really good depth of character and world building. So it does start a little slow because they got to give you a big picture in a short amount of time. But across the 2 seasons, it was really good. Like I binged it. And I think I finished it in 3 days, all 2 seasons, and didn't disappoint. There's no filler seasons. There's no filler episodes. It's all really good stuff. There's even some, if you like Easter eggs, like each episode starts with like a vinyl record being played, and the images on that record change from time to time, but you don't notice. It's very subtle. So they do like there's a lot of attention to detail everywhere, and even the shading on people, like when someone is descending into madness, like everything gets dark. Like it's a really good show. This is empty. Damn it.
To piggyback on that, Joy, obviously the show has conflict from episode 1 to the very end, but it's the layers of that conflict. The
number of times I said, "Ooh, you ain't shit," to people on screen.
Yeah.
Like so good.
Because there's your overarching conflict, because it's a class system. There are people who live on the surface and people who literally live in the sewers. And the people on the surface are like, hey, happy-go-lucky, da-da-da-da. What are we going to do about them dirty people in the sewers? Well, they only live there because y'all won't let them live up top with y'all. And they started out as the working class and y'all just relegated them to the sewers. So literally all the nobles.
It's end-stage capitalism.
All the nobles, because there's no middle class. It's basically haves and have-nots. So all the nobles live on the surface, and the whole working class, if you will, lives in the sewers. Depends on what level of work they have. If they're able to work on the surface, fine. But the majority of them work in jobs to pretty much keep the whole economy and society of the sewer life going, so to speak, because it's the same thing on both levels. And so that's the main conflict, trying to find that respectability balance of, hey, y'all need to stop dumping y'all shit on us.
Right.
Like, we're people too. We deserve, we have a right to live and express ourselves, and you can't keep shunning us to these lower depths of the city and pretend we don't exist. Like,
but there's so many layers to it. Like in addition to all of that, then you've got like a Romeo and Juliet love story with a twist. You've got the siblings who lose each other and find each other and lose each other. You've got the Jurassic Park level scientists who be doing stuff just because they can and don't know if they should. All of this is incorporated into how they build the world early on. And then you watch the evolution and devolution of all of them. Because there's peaks and valleys, people doing stuff. You're like, wow, really? That's what you're doing? All right, okay. That do you? Boo boo. It's really good. And you find yourself vested. There's no throwaway characters where you don't care what happened to that person. Like every episode where they, maybe some part of the episode focuses on this person, I'm into it. We focusing on that, on the scientist. Ooh, what happened to him? And you're focusing on the cop. Ooh, what's going on with her? So it's really well done. It's really well done.
Very much.
Okay, so. I'll try again because I saw the first episode and I was like, okay, I can't do this.
The world building is literally the first 2 episodes, and yes, I think where it loses a lot of people is that we see animated shows and we automatically assume each episode is somewhere between 22 to 30 minutes. This is not that. Each of these episodes is somewhere around 40 to 50 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I get it, even for people who like animation.
That's a lot.
That is a lot for them. For me, it's just Tuesday. Because I can get into animation, drop a dime, like, let's go. You said this thing is, let's do this. But yeah,
that's longer than a fucking Game of Thrones episode. What the hell?
It's on par with the same length. Yes. And speaking of Game of Thrones, the elements of the characters, as far as the betrayal that Joy talked about, and the depths of the characters in the background, their motivations, is literally straight out of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's that level of intrigue. And like if you read the books for Game of Thrones, and he'd be like, meanwhile at the wall, like there's something going on over here that is just as important to you and to the overarching story as what's going on in King's Landing. And so seeing what's happening above the sewers and then down in the gutters, and then other people coming in, and then, well, who is that over there? Ooh, what's going on with her? Like there's a lot. And it kept me interested to see it unfold. Mm-hmm. And I was pleasantly surprised that I didn't figure it all out by episode 4 and get bored. Like I was still like, but who's gonna do that though? Like it was really good. It kept me interested in a time where I didn't care about nothing. So yeah, it was great.
Machinations and manipulations.
Yes.
That whole thing. Mm-hmm. One more thing I did see recently, and only because it recently just finished a couple of weeks ago, and it is the opening salvo into the James Gunn DC universe. I'm surprised that Kyle's not here to join us. I did watch Creature Commandos.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly. So
I know what it is.
Creature Commandos is 7 episode, 28 minutes roughly each episode. Continuing from the end of Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, in which Amanda Waller, voiced by Viola Davis, brings in another Rick Flag Sr., because you remember he died in the second film, voiced by Frank Grillo, and to basically stop the goddess Cersei from tearing the hole through a country that U.S. has some type of diplomatic relations with. His team, because the government told her they can no longer use criminals, are monsters. So you've got the Bride of Frankenstein. Somehow they still were able to use Weasel. So Weasel from Suicide Squad survived, and they are still able to use him.
Kind of a monster. Like, I don't know what Weasel is.
Right. So they're able to use Weasel. Bride of Frankenstein. Oh gosh, what's her name? I can't remember what her name is, but basically she's a mer person, but she's human. But her father experimented on her, and she became like she can't breathe unless she has a water helmet on. Dr. Phosphorus. Who else am I blanking on? Oh gosh. Yeah, those are the main ones who matter anyway. But yeah, so naturally they got the bombs in the base of the neck. If they do something that they're not supposed to, either Amanda or flag, presses a button, their heads blow off, whatever. The twist in this one is that while they're doing the mission, Frankenstein's monster, which I love how they told this story through here, is chasing down his bride, because the bride of Frankenstein doesn't have a name. They just call her the bride. They know who she is. They know that Frankenstein's monster is out there, whose name is Eric, by the way. So he has a name, Eric Frankenstein, but she does not, just the bride. But through a flashback, you see how he was made or whatever. So he's deservedly so. He made Dr. Frankenstein make her for him, but she don't like him at all. Not even as friends.
That shows you how bad the dating world is right now. You can have a person made for you and she still don't like you.
So while she's
Frankenstein
doing
is the original incel.
Right. So while she's doing this job for Waller, or working for Waller in the U.S. government, Eric Frankenstein is basically hounding her and quoting.
He's stalking her.
Yeah, basically. From one end of the globe to the other throughout time. I like that they show through each episode, like the first 5 or so minutes shows how each character got to where they are in this show, as far as like how their personality developed, how they became the creature or monster that they are. Because they do that after episode 1, they do that in the beginning of every episode. For all 6 of them that are there. Because spoilers, not all of them make it.
I mean, it's Suicide Squad.
I mean, basically, it is Suicide Squad with monsters. So, but yeah, this is the opening salvo, and I was discussing with some friends a couple of weeks ago after I saw it, and was like, this is kind of dumb for this to be the first entry into the DC universe, with the Superman movie being the second thing coming out, because there will be things mentioned in the Superman film that are either direct nods or acknowledgments to events happening in this cartoon, and no one's going to know about it because, one, as you all have shown, not a lot of people knew this thing was out.
What's it even called again?
Creature Commandos.
And where is it at?
It's on HBO Max.
Okay.
I don't have Max.
One, not a lot of people knew it was out, and two, I don't think anybody knows that this is supposed to be connected to the overall universe, because James Gunn is doing this thing where everything is going to be connected. And everything literally means everything.
He's not doing a good job. He's not doing a good job at all.
Right.
Look, you can't just super glue some shit together and say it's all connected.
Oh no, it's all animation, movies, TV shows, and this is the part that's really pissing me off: video games. So when he's going to connect story elements from all of those things that are going to come out to mesh together.
I mean, even fucking Marvel Harry Potter didn't even have the video games linked to the movies.
I think that's a bad idea.
I think so too.
Because there's people who don't play video games.
Right.
That part.
And so either you hinder what the video games can do because they got to stay within canon to be related, or you let them be actual good games, but then there's holes in the plots for everyone else because they don't play that game. Because I'm not going to play that game if it's out there. I didn't play any of the Marvel games, but yeah, that seems like a ridiculous restriction to put on the creativity that you could have if you just stick to even TVs. What is it? Television series, cartoons, and movies. Even putting all of that together is a bit much. Like, there's plenty of Marvel stuff out there that ain't got nothing to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, them even trying to retcon the Defenders into it took some stretching and believing. So I don't know how they're gonna make all of this work. I think it's ambitious, but I think it's, man, just make a good movie. Make a good movie. One.
Right.
Well,
do that first.
In June. So there's that.
Well, I mean, hell, they kept redoing Superman. This time they got the damn dog. So we at least get to see Crypto.
Ooh.
And maybe it's reversed, because watching it, I saw the father and him crying. So maybe the mother dies. If that happens, I'm gonna be really mad.
Can't kill Martha.
Hell, they can do whatever they want to do.
I mean, I feel like Mr. Kent would make a terrible single father. Like, he's a farmer. He ain't got no good skills.
Me too, because I think the mother is the one that gave him
this. Yeah, she
the
gave him all
that he needed. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's terrible.
We'll see.
I don't know what the movie's going to look like. I am tired of seeing the trailer. I am tired of DC fan people talking about the trailer like it is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like, shut up, sit down, let the movie come out.
Right. I'd be like, so he saves the little girl, so what? Don't nobody care?
Like, it's Superman. How great can it be? This will only be like, what, the 8th movie featuring him?
Right.
Like,
well, you got the new character in there, which I'm excited about.
Now, see that I'm probably interested more so in seeing all the other heroes appear in the movie aside from Superman.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited to see.
Minus Guy Gardner, because I hope he dies.
Don't you like him?
Guy Gardner? So the Green Lantern that is Guy Gardner irks me the wrong way because of what the Green Lantern Corps is supposed to stand for. And here you have Guy Gardner, who is literally everything but that. Like, they try to frame him as the lovable asshole. Guy Gardner is basically an incel. Like, he is that atypical Revenge of the Nerds, Alpha Beta. That's what Guy Gardner is. There's virtually little, if anything, redeeming about him that says heroic.
So he's Deadpool without the girl or the personality. He's just out here being an asshole.
That's not even Deadpool. He's just
at least Deadpool has some redeeming personality traits.
Right.
So what's the one from The Boys? He's him.
You said who?
The Boys.
Which character?
The main one.
You got two. You got Homelander or what's the other one?
Oh,
the
Butcher.
One that hates Homelander.
Butcher.
Between those two, yeah.
Oh, he's probably more like Butcher than Homelander. Yeah, but he's still an incel because it's like he's a bully. I mean, he literally is the typical bully. He punches down on people. Yeah, he sticks up for some people, but it's not like a universal, like, hey, stop picking on this person and follow the example he sets. No, he's also a bully. He talks shit to and about literally everyone.
So we're not watching this.
I mean, you can, but I'm just saying, like, the Guy Gardner I know is literally irredeemable. So I don't know how they're gonna play this dude up in the movie. I'm not looking forward to it. I've never liked the character. I hate that, I question anybody who likes him as a character. If that's their favorite Green Lantern, exit stage left. We don't need to talk anymore.
Okay, I've never heard of him, but okay, I still want to see all the other characters.
All the other characters, yes.
But I want to see
Mr. Terrific, absolutely. I'm there for Mr. Terrific because that actor deserves a lot. Mainly an apology from the idiots that did First Class. Because how you have him play a mutant that's supposed to adapt to anything and you kill him. And then you kill him by saying, adapt to this. But that's his mutant power, to adapt to anything. So how does he die? I felt like I just wanted to kill the black dude.
I was about to say they got tired of killing us in horror movies, so they killed us in an action movie instead.
Who's Hawkgirl?
I don't know who Hawkgirl is in this film.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see all the other characters. So we'll see.
Because I'm even surprised they even putting Hawkgirl in the Superman movie.
Well, we got Birdie and What If, so we might as well get Hawkgirl.
Look, on a side note, I went to see One of Them Days, and Issa Rae did a surprise visit.
You saw her?
Yeah, she came to the studio
Oh,
after the show. She was supposed to come prior. First of all, okay, so the movie is over now. So they was trying to get people into the theater. So only told certain amount of people to tell their friends. So basically, they don't know a black person from a black person because they said it was SZA, which is why I came. And they told me the day before, me and my girlfriend, because we're getting ready for this photo shoot this weekend. So when we was doing the fitting, they was like, okay, well, SZA's supposed to be at the theater for that movie. So that was last Thursday. I was like, okay, so I got the tickets, let's go. So we got there. It took a while because when you get into the movie theater, they're already showing all of the credits. The movie was supposed to start at 7:15, 7:20. The movie still hasn't started, not even the credits. The previews. So I was like, okay, so something is gonna happen. And then our whole row, there was only a few people in our row. So our whole let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 people in our row, and then the rest of the row was empty. So I was like, okay, if they're in this row, if SZA's in this row, I'm gonna have a fucking fit. I'm going to scream my ass off. Then he comes in, the manager comes in, and he was like, they start the previews, and then the manager comes in, and he's standing there. My girlfriend's like, why is he looking worried? And he's like, well, we're trying to wait for this surprise person to show up, and they're running late. I was like, oh, okay, so here we go. So Houston traffic, they're not gonna get here in time. And my girlfriend's like, no, they will. I was like, no, girl, come on now. We in Houston. She on fucking I-10. She ain't getting here in time before this movie starts. It's like, okay, so we can forget that. So he did come back and say they're not gonna make it, so we're just gonna start the movie. So the movie's supposed to start at 7:15, 7:40. I think the movie started with all the damn. It was like, okay, start the movie. The movie was funny as hell. I enjoyed it. SZA was fun. She needs to act more. I enjoyed her. Her and Keke Palmer have a good chemistry going, like how Cynthia and Ariana had a good chemistry. Their chemistry was really good. So after the movie, then he came in with the mic and he's like, okay, we have the surprise guest. But mind you, we saw prior that SZA was like, okay, they're about to take my phone. I'm in Italy or India or something like that. And I'm going to be on a retreat in silence for 7 hours. So they're going to take my phone. We're like, okay, so people lie. This was prior to the movie. We're like, okay, so we're lying. So we're not sure if it's going to be SZA. It wasn't SZA. I'm still happy that it was Issa Rae. I'm not disappointed. And she came out and she was like, how did y'all like the movie? I heard that y'all were laughing. And so everybody was screaming when she came out. I was like, okay, Issa, yes, you up there. You directed this movie. We good. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So we got to see Issa Rae. Took some pictures, videos. I posted on my Instagram. I was like, okay. Yes, Issa, thank you. The movie was good. So if y'all haven't seen it, go see it.
It's on the list.
Yeah, she was nice.
When
She's
the roads
tall.
aren't iced over. All right. So since we are nearing the end of our time, slightly over, but that never stopped us before. Anything that you have seen that you haven't mentioned that you want to suggest, either everyone else here to watch or our audience to check out?
God, so many damn movies. I can't think of anything until I get on. And they're like, what have I been watching? I have to get on each one and I go through them all. It's like all the way to Apple Plus. I'm on each one. Like, what was I watching on this one? Half of the time I don't know which show I'm watching.
But as far as animation, there's not really anything new out. Mm-hmm. But as I mentioned before, the final episodes of Moon Girl will be released early next month. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Mostly still pissed.
Oh yeah, we're still pissed. We are definitely still pissed. Joy?
Mostly everything I watch is in Korean because watching K-dramas and listening. I pulled this up earlier because I couldn't resist touching it. Pulling up my little. I'm a fan of a group called.
Did you join Redbook, Joy?
Say what?
Did you join Redbook?
No. First off, that's Chinese. I don't have nothing to do with that. But no, because they're not over there either. But yeah, there's plenty of I could give you a laundry list of K-dramas that are absolutely worth watching with subtitles. You do not want to hear some of the English actors because I don't know what they be doing. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there. If you want to get into K-dramas, if you like fantasy stuff, watch, what is it called? Alchemy of Souls. It's 2 seasons. It's a great show. Very well done. Most K-dramas are written by women. So if they are rom-com or any sort of romance, they get it right. It's very much fantasy. Ain't no men like this in real life that is in touch with their emotions and all that. They're just not. But then there's some good action. So if you like action, there's one called K2. That's very good. And if you like just a good all-around show, Crash Landing on You has a little bit of everything, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of big on romance, some comic relief, some North Korea, South Korea intrigue and stuff. It's really, really good. So those are my 3 recommendations. Alchemy of Souls, Crash Landing on You, K2.
Oh, anybody see the Jamie Foxx one?
I did. What had happened was?
No, not the movie that he was doing when he got hurt.
Oh, the one with him and Cameron Diaz?
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
Is it out?
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was out yet.
Yeah, it's good.
It came out last week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
number
sequel,
1 on isn't it?
Oh, yes. Yes. Because now they got to bring in the father. So it's like, we want to bring in.
Oh, okay.
We need you to bring in a member of your family. It's like, oh, because her mother is MI6. And it's like, oh, my mother's in retirement. She'll be glad to help you. He's like, no, not your mother. And they look at each other. It's like, your father. And Jamie Foxx is like, your father. It's like, I was like, oh, I didn't tell you about my father. And then it goes off. So I was like, oh my God, yes, it's gonna be part 2.
Nice.
Okay.
Sweet.
You know it's about to be. Is James Bond still alive? What's his name? Sean Connery.
No.
Sean Connery?
No. He's not alive.
Okay.
Years ago.
I don't know who her father's gonna be, but it's gonna be amazing. Because Gwen.
Yeah, he died in 2020.
Damn.
Glenn Close is the mother.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure the father is gonna be. It's gonna be amazing. It just reminded me of how she was fighting in Charlie's Angels. It was like it felt good. I was like, I'm just so happy to see him fighting and it was like, okay, I don't know what the hell happened to you, sir, but I'm glad you are okay.
He talks about it in his comedy special.
Yeah. Both of his daughters helped him. Yeah, that was a good comedy show. I liked it. I was crying. Had me crying.
I'm going to suggest 2 anime rom-coms, both of them. First one is called Bottom Tier Character Tomazaki, which a loner kid who's pretty much hides himself in video games, meets one of his classmates online, and she's teaching him how to socialize with his classmates by using the mechanics of a video game to give him challenges every day or week. The second one is Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. Sophomore kid is pretty much the only person left in his art club because all the seniors are preparing to graduate. Has a group of freshman girls come into his art room to use as like their lunchroom to get away from the rest of the class. And one of them starts messing with him. in such a way that's somewhat playful at first, but then he just pretty much just lets them come in there whenever they want to, and they develop a friendship that evolves, and they start, defending each other because they're around each other all the time, and that just blossoms into, do they really like each other or not? So figuring that out. So I would suggest those two as well. So for anybody who says I only watch action anime.
You know what else is really good in this combination of action and slice of life is Spy Family. It's 2 seasons and a movie right now available on Crunchyroll, and it's really cute. It's got some fights in it. The characters are all kind of like the art style reminds me of like 90s animation. Like it's not perfect, but it's a little cleaner. It's like retro 90s animation. It's really good though. But I enjoyed it. It was funny. It was cute. The premise is ridiculous, but it's a really good show.
All right. And with that, we are going to get out of here for the evening.
Yes.
And we will see you all next month. Say goodnight, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then. When they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves a republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe. As a part of their ongoing war with Asia, used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. The work of all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if you put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course. Cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe. As a part of their ongoing war with Asia, used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. The work of all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.